Welcome in, everybody. Before we get into this very important morning update, I want to go over a few key factors of what's going on in the markets today. First, XRP's up about 2.6% on the day. We're back up to 0.4657, and as I said yesterday, it looked like we were hitting a point where on this inverted head and shoulders, if in fact this was the pattern formation, where we'd have to push back up not only 453, but get over 46 cents, which we were able to do yesterday. And now to me, it looks like we might retest the 482 level to try to see if we can, in fact, confirm some kind of inverted head and shoulders being built, or if we're going to get a rejection point on the handle to invalidate a bullish cup and handle, even though to me, it seems like we've got more momentum to the top side because a lot of people are starting to short the market. So the market manipulators always have a back-end plan en route, especially with the debt ceiling and everything like that. I feel like this is a gigantic bear trap that could be forming, but I will continue to caution you by saying I have the support levels that would invalidate an inverted head and shoulders, and if XRP breaks back below 41 cents and gets back into that structure, which is a descending triangle and or like a symmetrical triangle, it's just your interpretation. Once it gets back into that formation, it falls very bearish. Right now, though, we're still on the bullish side of things if we're trying to bounce up. Not saying that it's a bullish formation, saying it's in the process of creating a bullish move up, assuming that we can hold this inverted head and shoulders. I'll show you everything you need to know and more in the update. Also, I released Silver Stacker episode number 10 at 12:22 a.m. It's got about 200 views, so I appreciate everybody who took the time to watch that, as it's very important. And also, the live I did yesterday, we've had about 500 views. It was one of the most important lives I've ever done, one of the most important videos I've done in a long time. So I thank everybody who tuned into that. If you're interested in watching my lives, I'll be live again today at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So I'll see you over at, here on YouTube if you want to take the time and have a little back and forth. Make sure you hit that like button, as it greatly pushes me through the analytics. Our videos yesterday didn't do so well with the likes, but I did put out a lot of content, so I'm not judging. I'm just saying, if you would do me a favor and hit that like button and help push me through the analytics, I would greatly appreciate that for the work put in. Remember, positivity over negativity. Nobody needs someone dragging them down. We need people picking people up towards the light. It's a tough time in crypto, and if we're talking amongst each other, we can't lose. I'll catch you on the other side of the intro. Good morning, 9:21 a.m. Eastern Standard Time on this Friday, May 26th, 2023. I'm XRP Future Millionaire, and I reside in the great state of Michigan. So, didn't talk about this on the opening, but this is what we're starting with, and I'd like to thank Tanya. You made it a lot easier on me this morning, so I didn't have to go back and pull this up myself, putting this in the Telegram. So, I really appreciate that, Tanya. So, one thing I would like to share first is just from the video. A video this great and important should be seen by more. I totally agree, Stephen, and that was I did a 30-minute live explaining what was going on with Ripple, explaining what Brad Garlinghouse said about the possible, he thinks there's going to be some kind of solution with the Ripple XRP versus SEC in weeks, not months. That's what he said. I'm not saying that he's not a fudster at times, and he didn't make predictions last year. I'm just saying this seems like a more logical solution, seeing what's happened, the extension put in for a couple weeks, and the fact that we're getting to mid to late 2023 by this time. This is when it would be more likely than in 2021. So I still believe that we might push out until September, but I've always said end of Q2, beginning of Q3 could be when they decide to end this thing, but we won't know anything until further notice. Brad Garlinghouse has told us a lot of FUD in the past, so we have to be very cautious when we listen to this news. Now, what I will say is it's helped XRP push up about 2.6% on the day. I got to plug in my charger here, folks. I didn't realize it's only at 6%. If I let this go down a little bit farther, this is not going to be good. So, there we go. So, anyhow, let's pay attention first to the news. Ripple president explains why the company acquired a stake in crypto exchange Bitstamp. So, Ripple recently acquired a stake in Bitstamp for an undisclosed sum. Ripple president Monica Long told the block that the stake acquisition of Bitstamp will help the company grow its global presence and go beyond payments. I don't want to read a lot. I just wanted to give you the basic understanding. So, Ripple president Monica Long said the company's recent stake acquisition in European crypto exchange Bitstamp will help further grow the company's international presence and diversification beyond payments. So, Ripple has a strong balance sheet, and we actively looking for opportunities to continue expanding the business outside of the U.S. and beyond payments as we further solidify our global leadership position. Long told The Block the company acquired an undisclosed stake in Bitstamp from crypto venture capital Pantera Galaxy Digital Holdings, who advised Pantera on the deal during the first quarter of the year, disclosed the news earlier this month. And then I'm just going to read this. Like Ripple, Bitstamp has a long and established history in the crypto industry. They're a trusted and leading exchange, particularly in their enterprise-grade and institutional offerings. Long said they have been a valuable partner to Ripple, and as such, we are excited at the opportunity to invest in their business and deepen our partnership. So that's what's going on with the news in Ripple as they've acquired a stake in Bitstamp, which is actually pretty big news. So in the European markets. So let's get right to XRP. It's up 2.45%. So this could be based on the news from acquiring, a stake in Bitstamp, and or Brad Garlinghouse saying he expects a resolution in the lawsuit with Ripple versus the SEC in weeks, not months. So, and I showed that live video yesterday multiple times. XRP is up 2.51%, and as we've talked about, XRP on that broken formation, the breakout, have created what looks like an inverted head and shoulders. We've talked about this ever since it made the hold. Let me pull up my drawing tool. Ever since we came down and around and came here, and looks like it made that inverted head and shoulders on the breakout point, which some will call it a descending triangle, some will call it a symmetrical triangle. I don't really care what you call it. I'm just telling you, it broke out of this area, so whatever you decipher that triangle is. And it looks to me like it created inverted head and shoulders when it came down. Left shoulder, head, right shoulder. Now if it bounces up, it's exactly what we talked about, trying to finish out this pattern. We've talked about this. Now we already know if we were to break down and lose the 432, we're coming back to 41 cents. So it's not like we don't understand this pattern. But right now, like we said, this could be a perfect bounce area yesterday. Like a lot of people think this is just about to go down and die, and it makes me a little nervous. When all the news media is starting to say the markets are looking very bearish, when all of the social media influencers are starting to say we're about to have a big drop, that's when I start to look the other way. And that's exactly what everybody said. I told everybody that's not what's going to tell you about the big drop. I said it's a emergency situation because if we got rejected by that 41 cents, we'd continue moving farther down, and that can bring us to 37. Once you break that, then we have to deal with the 2021 uptrend of the other pattern. And that's how you go from the 2021 to 2017 uptrend and fall to 19 cents. Now, if you get into that scenario, it's a 45% drop on that validation. Never got the confirmation. I seen a lot of other people, though, once we fell into that trap, said, it's over, crypto's done. And I kept maintaining and saying, if we don't get the signal, it can come right back up, and 482 should be the next target. And now that's what it looks like we're working on. Now, we can get faked out here. There's been a lot of news, but I firmly believe what I'm seeing right now in the markets is a gigantic trap. We should have broken down earlier. And not just that, when Bitcoin came up to 31,000, let's get into Bitcoin while I'm talking. When Bitcoin came up to 31,000, we should have come up, in my opinion, it could have come up a little bit higher. It could have come up a little bit higher, but now what we're dealing with is this back end trash. And what I mean by that is if we're below this channel in 28,000, that can validate a drop down 9% down to 25,194. Now what it looks like is we could have created a double bottom at 28,840 approximately. If that's the case, we won't get rejected here at 26,500. If we get rejected here, this is all but done. If you get rejected here in the 4-hourly and it breaks down, you're coming down to 25,194. If you can get back above here and start railing up towards the 200-day, you will likely try to come up and get rejected and see what happens. Maybe not to 28,000 just because of where you're at, but your next step would be to try to break past 27,200. So a rejection here brings you right down to the 200-day at 25,194. So pay very close attention with Bitcoin. But as I've stated, not just in Bitcoin, but if you actually look at the pattern with XRP and Bitcoin, we could be trying and attempting some kind of reversal here. Bitcoin looks a lot worse than XRP because XRP's already done somewhat of a reversal back up. Bitcoin's still lagging behind here, but if it does follow suit, and let's just say we have a debt ceiling, something happened there, I guarantee they'll pump the stock market and they'll probably pump crypto because they'll print a whole bunch of money if they pass a debt ceiling increase because it's going to give them free rein for inflation printing, which means they're going to print a bunch of money and they're going to prop up the markets. So in the head of everybody talking negative and everything being negative, typically when everybody's talking one way, it goes the other. When everybody's talking up, it goes down. A lot of people are talking down right now. No surprise to me that XRP jumped up this morning. The other surprise here, or no surprise here, is if you're actually watching Bitcoin and paying attention, this level right here where it dropped back down and rounded, that's the first level cup. Now it's making a bullish handle right here. If we go to the second level, that would bring you back up to that, what is that, 32,800 area. So that's what I'm watching. Anything short of that and a rejection at up here, and I'm going to continue to say this, a rejection up at 28,000, that will be your signal that we're coming to 25,194. Now, if you break back above, that's where it gets interesting because we do have a cup and handle forming here. And the fact that we came here, now we're building a handle on the lower cup, that could be our signal that we're going to bounce up. And we've also got what could be a W reversal, which, if you ask me, does that not look like an inverted head and shoulders? Ready? Bam. Down to the left shoulder, down to a head formation, back up to an inverted right shoulder, coming up to create that arm and extension to where you could come all the way back up. That's what we're watching for. Just because you're down below this formation doesn't mean it's all just dead. It doesn't look good. It could definitely get a lot of people shorting the market already. But to me, your main short should be a rejection at 28,000 on Bitcoin to play down to 25,194 if you get that rejection. Or with XRP, you would have to get a rejection here at 46 cents, a firm flat rejection, and then you'd have to come back down. But my short wouldn't even happen. And we'll go back to the all-time pattern on XRP, and then I'm going to let you go because this is getting long and I got stuff to do. Kids got a half day at school today. So make sure you hit that like button. And if you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button as we went over 16,300 subscribers. If you're looking to trade XRP or your favorite crypto, video description below and or pinned comments, Mexi and or BitGet, no spot fees on the buy and sell, and leverage trade up to 250x long you're shorting the market. Show me some support. You can send a YouTube super chat. You can sign up to Tom's Army. You can send XRP. You can send a Cash App. I don't anticipate anybody to do that, but if you want to, that's in the video description below and or pinned comments. I encourage you to join me at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time to join me during the live. This will be our third daily this week, so pay attention. And ending it like this, XRP, the whole thing with XRP is you would have to break down first, and for me to short this, you'd have to break all the way down here and get a retest up at 36.5, and then I would short it down to 19 cents for a 45% loss. There's no reason for me to trade in that range, zero. Because I believe up here, it can bounce up and out, and that's the manipulation happening right now. I'm XRP Future Millionaire. Hit that motherfucking like button. If you got anything out of this, hit that subscribe button.